Welcome, get excited because today I'm going to go over 5 ways to make tretinoin or any kind of retinoid work for you so that you can eventually use it daily. So hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Reed B. As you know from my channel, or if you're new here, I have Ehlers-Danlos, which is a collagen disease. And it affects collagen, it affects skin aging. And so the goal of my channel is really to go over all the sorts of things that I'm trying to do to help preserve my collagen. But anyone, even if you don't have Ehlers-Danlos, you can use these tips to help you. So I think that today's video is going to be helpful for everybody because it's basically like, 20 years that I've been experimenting with retinoids, and finally I'm able to use them daily. And welcome to my new setting. If you see the light in the background, I think I'll eventually show him, but that's my turtle. He's in the back. And again, I'm still getting used to where to look. So if I'm not exactly looking at you, I feel like I'm looking at you. So thanks for watching. And T the turtle is in the background. So if you hear any noise, that's him. He gets excited for videos. So the first thing to do is to start slow. And I know that everybody hears this about retinoids, but it's extremely important, and it's kind of like my number 1 and 2 are to start slow, because I have made this mistake every single time I start a retinoid, because again, as I had mentioned, I started them I think when I was like 20, just because I was researching what's the best thing that's proven, by medicine to do topically for your skin. And was I even in med school yet? I don't even think I was in med school, but I was just researching it because I didn't want to spend money on like tons of creams and all these over-the-counter things to try and improve my skin if it wasn't really worth it. There were so many expensive things. I mean, now so more so than then, but I didn't want to just do anything that was expensive. I just wanted to try something that was proven. So the funny thing is that in my 20s, my dermatologist gave me a free sample, which is a full free sample, like the entire, however many 30-gram tube of Renova. And so at that time, that's what I used. It was more elegant. And the funny thing is that, as I mentioned in some of my videos, I was a sun worshiper. So I would use the tretinoin and then I would still sit out in the sun. So it took me about 20 years to realize that I shouldn't be sitting out in the sun. And then that's when I decided to really do everything that I'm doing for my skin now. So I'm 50 years old. And so I learned over the years that you cannot start, you may think that you can start using it every day or even every other day. At the beginning, you're like, oh, this is not a big deal. I'm using it every day and I'm not getting any irritation. But I promise you then, like a week later, you're going to get irritation. So that would be my number 1 and 2. Start slow and don't think that if you don't get irritation, you're just one of the few that will not get irritation. Better to start slow. So finally, I learned my lesson, and then when I just restarted, being really serious about retinoids, I started doing it just once a week, and that was just for, like a 2-week period or something. Then for the next, I had no irritation. Then for like the next 2 weeks, I did it 2 times a week, and then I did that for 2 weeks, and then I went up to 3 times a week. I did that actually for a couple of months. And then, so I would do it 3 times a week. And then like one of the nights I would do some sort of like AHA, BHA. Oh my God, it's so windy here. Whoa. Okay, so that's wind. That's new too. That's not the turtle. So I would do some kind of AHA, BHA peel on like, the 4th or 5th night. I was tolerating that fine, never did any vitamin C or any other kind of actives. Did that for, I'd say like a good 3 to 6 months. Then I went up to 4 times a week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I think Saturday, and then, Saturday. And then on Thursdays, I did the AHA, BHA peel, did everything the same, was on that for years. And finally, and this is my number 4, I'm just looking at my little list here. My number 4 was the formulation. So that's also very important. So as I had mentioned, I was just on generic retinoids. And I do have rosacea and very sensitive skin, and the generic retinoids, I have some shorts on this, and I actually have like a whole video comparing Altreno to just generic retinoids. So the formulation matters. So the problem with the retinoids were they were very difficult to spread. I hurt my finger, by the way. So that's what this is. And so the retinoids are very difficult to spread, or at least I found that was very difficult, and I don't like to pull on my skin. So I found that I would get irritation in certain areas. And so then what I did is I learned about my number 5 recommendation is that to do the sandwich method. So you put on, like I did a light moisturizer. I love the Cosrx moisturizing mask. I did that first, and then I would do the retinoid, and then I would put on a heavy moisturizer afterwards. I still to this day do that. And again, I really like just a lightweight moisturizer, and the Cosrx is just my absolute favorite, because then it just makes the retinoid that you put on over, it makes you tolerate it better, but then it also makes the spreadability much better. The only thing that got me to be able to finally use my retinoid 7 days a week was Altreno. Altreno, again, I have tons of videos on it, but it's very, for my skin, my dry skin and my very sensitive skin, and rosacea and all that, it's very cosmetically elegant. So it's almost like a Vaseline, like almost like an ointment, and it spreads very easily, extremely moisturizing. But I still to this day use the sandwich method. So you probably wouldn't even need to if you were using the Altreno, depending on your skin type, but I just find that works the best for me, especially in the winter months when it's a little bit more dry. But I have just continued to do that. I went from 5 days a week to 7 days a week without any problems. I've been able to continue doing my AHA, BHA peel. I do that once a week still. Sometimes I'll do it twice a week, but I really like to just stick to the once a week. And then I do actives later. And so that is I think I actually screwed up the numbers here, but whatever. That's number 5. Number 5 is to add in actives later. So I'll go over the numbers in a summary, but to add actives later, or once you're kind of stable on, maybe you're stable on 3 days a week, then you'll add in an active. So the only active that I've added in the most recent, probably I think 2 years, and I do have videos on vitamin C as well, was vitamin C in the morning. I added that in on a daily basis with absolutely no problems. So those are my tips to be able to hopefully do a retinoid daily. Let me go over them again. So number 1 is start slow. Number 2 is don't think that you can do it daily. Even though that kind of goes along with starting slow, but you can't do it daily, even though you think that you're abnormal, and you can. Number 3 is using the sandwich method, no matter what. Number 4 is the formulation. The formulation is very important. Pick what works for you. If you have oilier skin, then a gel might work better for you. If you don't really have like sensitive skin, then just the basic Tretinoin cream might work for you. If you have sensitive skin, rosacea prone, dry skin, then I think something like Altreno, just a more elegant formulation, would work better. And then number 5 is just to, once you're stable on whatever dose, then add in your actives. So don't do it all at the same time. So hopefully this was helpful to everybody. And thank you so much for watching and bearing with my miscounting. And talk to you next week. Bye.